I'll show just this one slide by way of making a connection, the significance of which will become more apparent near the end. Alan Alford alluded to the exploded planet hypothesis, an idea that dates back to the very discovery of the asteroid belt, thousands of pieces of what may be debris or maybe a planet that never formed between Mars and Jupiter. There is a lot of evidence that that there was a planet that exploded. My book contains 5 chapters summarizing this evidence in many different categories. As Mars relates to this, the evidence indicates that the role of Mars was not as an original planet, but as a moon of a planet that exploded. The planet itself probably disappeared from the solar system several million years ago. And Mars was in orbit at that time, possibly along with another moon. And Mars would have been right there at the time of the explosion. So as you would expect, if Mars was sitting close to a planet that exploded, there would be quite a bit of evidence of that. And there does seem to be. There are many mysteries about Mars, one of which, the most striking, now that we've seen it close up with spacecraft, is that Mars is almost like 2 planets, 2 halves of a sphere pasted together. One hemisphere of Mars is strongly cratered on one side. It is saturated with craters on one side, and quite smooth and relatively craterless on the other. On the cratered side, the thickness of the crust of Mars gradually increases toward the center up to over 20 kilometers. And on the uncratered half, it's a smooth, flat, 1 kilometer thick. It is the flattest known surface in the whole solar system, other than for this odd cratered hemisphere. The geographic or spin pole, not the magnetic pole, the spin pole of Mars is known by planetary geologists, nothing to do with exploded planets or the story I'll be telling you tonight. Just straight planetary geologists discovered evidence that the spin pole of Mars changed drastically at least once, possibly twice in the past, and that it tipped as much as 90 degrees rather suddenly because there is no evidence of intermediate pole positions. The tie-in with what I was alluding to, the being in the face of the explosion, is that if you explode a moon that's in synchronous orbit, keeping one face toward the planet, and put all this extra mass on one side of it, just as if you put a weight on a spinning top, it's going to tip over and the spin axis is going to go through where the extra weight is. So that's what you would expect to happen to a planet that was near a major explosion. The original dense atmosphere of Mars, for which there's plenty of evidence that it was once thicker than Earth's present atmosphere, is now mostly gone. Present atmosphere is only 1% of Earth's, nearly a vacuum. And there are on a list of over 24 items, I've just mentioned these highlights. There's xenon-129 detected in the atmosphere of Mars, which is a fission byproduct requiring a massive explosion, and there's an excess of it on Mars more than is seen elsewhere in the solar system.
Now, I have just shown you evidence from astronauts and PhDs what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught in the 1930s before NASA reached the moon. The blasting away of the moon and the reorbiting of Mars was done by one black man 66 trillion years ago. I want you to keep this in mind, that one of us, somebody that looked like you, one man caused the moon to be put into outer space and reorbited another planet. Please keep that in mind. The thing we are after and the object of this video is wisdom. To reach our fullest potential and become the wisest person we can be, we must understand ourselves. I don't just mean in the ancient history of our ancestors, but also in our physical makeup. This is the key. You must know thyself. You may ask yourself, how is understanding myself looking inwardly, how is that going to help me understand the universe outside of me? Well, that's easy to answer. You and the universe are one. This is not just philosophy talk here, it is the literal truth. Meaning, once you wake up to who you are, the universe around you will become more subservient to your will or more subject to your commands. Would you like to control the universe? Not only here on Earth, but to the out to the farthest star. Just continue to take a walk with me. Let's look at the character of our solar system. This is the basic motion of our solar system. I know you have probably seen something like this before, but I'm about to show you that you are actually looking at yourself. Just relax and pay close attention. Now, you notice that the sun has 9 planets in rotation around it. Look at the direction of rotation. It is from left to right, which is counterclockwise. Do you understand? Now, this is the general nature of our solar system. Basically, all the objects in our solar system are moving left to right and rotating from left to right in a counterclockwise fashion. Okay, let's look at the Earth. Notice that the Earth rotates from left to right, just like the solar system. If you study the animation closely, you will see why the sun appears to rise from east to west. Because of this is because of the left to right rotation of the Earth. Now let's keep going. Let's have a look at you. You are so wonderful, just as wonderful as the universe around you. This is a conceptual picture of the human body and heart. Notice that your heart is located on the left side of your body. Let me invert the picture so you won't be confused because looking at this picture, it appears that your heart is on the right side because of the way the picture is facing you. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to invert the picture, so it won't confuse you because your heart is located on the left side of your body. Okay, now the heart appears to your left in the picture. There are exceptions to this rule, as generally there are exceptions to every rule, but this is basically how every human on the planet is made. Of course, you know that the heart pumps blood throughout the body, right? Now, take one wild guess as to the direction of flow of blood through your body. Now, this is an oversimplification of the blood flow in your body. Again, let me invert the picture so that the heart appears to your left so we can proceed so you won't be confused. Okay, now your heart is located on the left side of your chest. If you don't believe me, put your hand over the left side of your chest right now. Okay, you may be wondering why the picture of the blood flow in your body is in blue and red. This is because these are the actual colors of your blood in your body. Let me explain. When your blood loses oxygen or is without oxygen, it turns blue. When your blood is exposed to oxygen, it turns red. Okay, let's continue. Look at the diagram. Which direction is the blood flowing? Your blood is going from your left to the right. This is naturally understood also because the heart is on the left side of your body and must pump it to the right. Do you understand? So now the solar system, the earth, and your blood flow circulates in the same direction, left to right, or counterclockwise. Now let's raise your conscious level a bit. Okay, let's have a look at track races. It doesn't matter whether it's human or animal or even machines. Let's have a look at them. Notice that in these races, the participants are all running from left to right or counterclockwise, just like the Earth and the solar system are rotating. Since the race direction is the same as the heart flow, the stamina and strength is maintained for a longer period. If you are right-handed, like most of us are, your dominant or strongest leg is your left, your power leg. When the racers are making the turns on the track, it is the left leg that accelerates or powers you through the turn. If you don't believe that your left leg is your power leg, watch the NBA when a right-handed player fly to the rim and dunk. they always take off on their left leg. Finally, looking at the natural rhythm of circulation of the earth, left to right or counterclockwise, notice the direction that a person spins whether they're dancing or even skating.
Herb Drucker and Earl Strom were officiating this action. That is also more or less to intimidate them. Say, look, I'm putting this down.
Right.
Watch this tape. This is where I'm going to lead from.
He wants us judges to see that too.
Almost the length of the court he's going to go from. Here comes Michael Jordan. Fly. Slam it. They love it. So does Michael Jordan.
And his foot was honest to that tape. That's a 10 to me.
The enthusiasm.
I'm not a judge, but I'm going to give him 10.
Michael Jordan. A 50-point.
Watch again. Take it to him, Michael.
Oh, soaring, leaping, one-handed. Loves it.
Are you starting to get the picture? Okay, well, let me make sure. And besides, I couldn't leave out my boy.